What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul and this is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you, as ever, for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Before we get into the video, if you've not done so already, if you could hit the subscribe button for me, if you could turn your notifications on, if you could like the video, any comments that you want to make, please feel free, leave them in the comment section down below. Oh my goodness me. Excuse me, what a performance. I was genuinely worried about the game tonight. I thought that it was going to be a tight affair. I thought that it was going to be possibly sticky, a little bit turgid, two teams cancelling each other out, etc., so on and so forth. But what a brilliant performance. We had a controlled in terms of we kind of controlled the majority of the game performance and we win 2-0, and that puts us into second. And I'm sat here speechless because I wasn't expecting that type of a performance, if I'm 100% honest. And to a man, every single one of those players was on it tonight brilliantly. I've got no complaints about anybody. Everybody had a really good game. Just absolutely everybody. I thought, bar the first 10 minutes, we got into the game, we settled quite well, we restricted them, heavily restricted them. They had 4 shots for the entire game. We had 15 shots on them as the game wore on. I think that's the most that they've faced in a single game. Their strategy seemed to be, we'll hold on to the ball or we'll hold it deep, and then we'll try and break on the bounce and then when the switch is coming on, and we'll try and switch it round, and we'll try and do it that way round. But we just controlled the entire game. Just everybody was playing really well. I thought Bogle had a very good game. I thought Strauch and Rodon played very well. Rodon did nearly make me eat my words though when he played that stupid ball that nearly cost us, but you know, he recovered, so all is forgiven. Firpo is just Firpo. He turned into prime Rutter for some reason when he did the little pirouette in the middle of the field and then ran off with the ball. It was fantastic to see. The midfield played really well. I thought Nonto and Ramazani played brilliantly, just in terms of their switching and overall movement. Aronson's industry was very good. His shooting, not so much. So, you know, you can forgive him. He's travelled a lot of miles and played a lot of football this week. Peru, for me, one of the best games that he's played in terms of his closing people down and also his little touches here and there, his little half touches to bring other people into the game was very good. And just overall, just really pleased. And we do need to have a discussion about Rothwell and Tanaka. Rothwell was phenomenal tonight. Just his industry, his creativity in terms of running forwards with the balls that he was playing. The same with Tanaka as well, who needs drug testing as far as I'm concerned, because he shouldn't have been able to be running that quickly or have that much stamina throughout the entire game. I felt that they were one of the strong reasons why, you know, we controlled the game as well as what we did. Everybody was on it tonight to a man. I thought the atmosphere was fantastic. I thought everything was really good. And somebody sacrificed a goat at some point because we scored from a corner. Not sure how that happens. And everybody needs to be honest and say that when Rothwell first hit that corner, everybody went, oh, God, because it was not very high. But in comes the pirate, the sexy pirate that he is. What a finish that was, by the way. Beautiful finish. And then, you know, for me, it was just, right, let's try and calm it for a couple of minutes and just keep it where we need to keep it. And we were on top of the game. They were never really troubling us. You know, I don't remember Meslier having to make any form of save whatsoever at all, because the defence did such a wonderful job of shielding him throughout the entire game. The interesting thing that happened was when Wilder made his substitution, or his triple substitution that he actually made, which I don't think many people were expecting him to make. And it kind of put us a little bit under pressure, I felt, and we sort of struggled to hold on to the ball a little bit. And then Wilder makes his substitutions, and it just made the right sort of sense. And the thing that was interesting was that he noticed that Sheffield had gone to a back four once Rakzaki came on, who was dealt with superbly by Firpo, by the way, for the 10 minutes that he was on. When Joseph came on, that was to combat the back four that they were suddenly playing with. So you had Joseph and Pirou in the number 10 spot. The thing that was really good to see about that was that where Pirou picks the ball up in the number 10 position and he just keeps running and just keeps running. Joseph made an absolutely delicious run, by the way. And the ball put through by Pirou was absolutely weight perfect. And what was really nice to see was Joseph not go down. He backed into the player a little bit, was strong, held him off and got his finish off. And that just shows a guy that's, scored a hat-trick in midweek in terms of the way that he played. So he's absolutely thriving on confidence. And it was just a great all-round performance. We scored at key times and it really took the wind and the stuffing out of them. And there wasn't anything that they could do to change it. I mean, Gustavo Hamer went off injured. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think he was injured. I think that he basically was absolutely played out of the game to the point where he just sat down and was taken off and substituted. And you could see that he was annoyed probably about his performance overall. Kiefer Moore was obviously trying to throw his weight about. He's 6'4", but it was really nice to see that Firpo was standing up to him really well. And I think Firpo got under his skin a little bit because they had a lot of needle between each other, which was really, really good to see. But even when their players came on, when they brought Rakzaki on, Firpo dealt with him really, really well. I thought that we just handled the game management of the system of the the entire 96 minutes was phenomenally good, just brilliant. And I still maintain this in every game that I watch. We still haven't peaked yet. I still don't think we're peaked yet. We've still got, obviously, fantastic to see Solomon back, fantastic to see James back. But we're still kind of gelling a little bit. And I mean, who had the bingo card that had Rothwell and Tanaka being the absolute midfield dynamos that they are? And I've said this a lot, and one of my biggest criticisms this season has been that there has been a disconnect between the midfield and the number 10 role, because we have in Ampadu and Gruev two very, very defensive-minded midfielders. So consequently, what that's meant is there's always been a big gap between that number 10 and bringing in the play. But what we have with both Tanaka and Rothwell is them coming forwards, and a lot of people like to talk about it, it's the buzzword, the verticality, and being able to charge forward and into the space and make use of the space to be able to bring other players into the game, which is what we saw tonight. And it was really, really, really pleasing to watch in terms of a game. I believe Wilder, I mean, fair credit to Wilder, he said that we're the best team that they've faced this season by a country mile, that they didn't deserve anything out of the game. But I think the thing that is really interesting is that he said that he tried to set up the team, and I was really surprised with Wilder's setup, to be honest with you. He said that he set up the team to mirror what Southampton had done to us league games and then in the playoffs. Now, the biggest difference there is that you haven't got Ampadu and Gruev playing, or you haven't got Ampadu and you haven't got Gruev and Kamara playing, who are two very defensive-minded midfielders. We've got two quite progressive midfielders who were dovetailing perfectly tonight. So that, for me, that setup was never, ever going to work. Excuse me. Just in terms of how that was playing. And again, the fluidity of the front line, everything just fell into place really well tonight. And I'm really pleased for the boys. And one of my moment of the entire game was Meslier running down the line to celebrate with everybody, but running past the Sheffield United fans, shushing them, and then going to join in with the celebrations, which was just, it was really, really good to see. And that crowd tonight was bouncing, absolutely bouncing. And when that happens, you either sink or you swim. And for me, the Sheffield United players sank and we swam, and we were just really, really good. And that is still, again, without hitting top form yet this season. There's still gears for us to go through once it all finally clicks and once everybody's comfortable within their positions within the team. So once James gets comfortable and fit, who looked good, by the way, in terms of his running and everything, and once Solomon again gets up to speed and everything, and I'm just really pleased with the way it's all going at the moment. I'm happy. I don't want to get too carried away with myself. This is really, really nice to see. We're playing well. We now move into a really, really crucial period in terms of the teams that we're playing. So we've now played, take Watford out of the equation now, but everybody who was in the top six. And we're sitting second, joint top, if you want to call it that. If Sunderland lose their game, then, that puts us top, basically. And Sunderland and Burnley lose their games, that puts us top of the table, effectively. So even without being in top gear, we're sitting in a really nice position. And, it's not about being critical about players tonight or putting players down or anything like that. It was a great performance. They played phenomenally well. Everybody did their job like they were supposed to do. It was just really, really good to see. And I'm one happy little boy. It's great when we win because it makes the weekend so much nicer. We can relax, we can chill out now and do whatever we need to do and move on to Tuesday night and just see how that goes. I am knackered because it's like 11:30, although I don't think I will get any sleep tonight. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe for me as well. Comments, notifications on, all of that kind of good stuff. Take care of each other, and most importantly, take care of yourself. And I will see you on the next one soon. Cheers.